the radio. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Rietspruit Game Reserve. Welcome to Painted Dog. Myself and Ashley are out this morning searching for life in this very cold, windy morning that we have here. It's bizarre weather. Overnight, the wind has just picked up immensely, but we've definitely found some wildebeest right outside our camp here, although they are not too happy to see us. Bye, wildebeest. Yeah, so overnight the wind really picked up. I was actually having a barbecue at my home and ended up having to quickly kill my fire. Just so scary with how strong this wind is, and it was obviously a bit of a fire risk. Oh, the wildebeest are back. I think these are some wildebeest boys. Oh, why are you shouting at me? Right, who have we got with us? Let's have a quick look. Hello Barbara, hello Brandy, hi Carol, hi Mary. I still need to figure out who First School of Life is. Good morning, good to have you with us. Deneen, good morning. Elsa, hello. Willow, hello. Velma, hello. Hello everybody, so nice to have you with us. We are going to just quickly check the fence line here. I want to see if there's any sign of the two cheetah males. A whole bunch of people disconnected from my channel. Assume that's you, Ashley. I think we're good. Sorry everybody, apologies for the late start this morning. I think the weather has been mucking about with our signals. But so far so good. I think we're all good at the moment. Oh, but it's so nice to be out on another early morning safaris. I love them. My favorite, the morning drives. Maybe we're going to find my leopard. Been thinking about a name, by the way, of what to call her. Maybe you all can suggest some names. You know, myself and Brent been trying to rack our brains as to something that works for this female that has appeared to have established territory here close to our camp. And the first name I came up with was the Mumba female, because of course a prominent point within her territory is this waterhole just here by camp, Mumba Dam. And that's about as far as we got, by the way, so we haven't come up with any other names just yet. Actually, just want to quickly stop here and get my binoculars out. Another reason why I've come to the fence line this early in the morning is I haven't yet seen the brown hyena. Well, I have, but just not here. Of course, Brent and Andrew have had quite a lot of luck finding the brown hyena, and most of the time it's been here close to the fence line. Nobody home as of yet. I don't see any movement. Certainly don't see the cheetah either. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut back. We'll actually go past Mumba Dam quickly and just see if anybody's there. And then you'll have to excuse me, everybody. Apologies. In our haste to try and get things going this morning, I forgot the radio, which is not a good thing, of course, because I'm going to get into big trouble with a whole bunch of people on this reserve if I'm driving around without my radio. So yeah, I just want to quickly do this loop, check the waterhole. We're just going to pop back to our camp, which is right here. I just want to quickly grab my radio and then we'll carry on our way. Awesome, Velma, so am I. Very excited to have you. epic. Just heard some good news from VM, who's in charge of FC this morning. He says that all the lines are up and running, so our signal should be really good for the morning, everybody, which I'm very chuffed about. Don't want you to miss anything. Never mind, VM says we've lost that channel. Take everything back, what I just said. But I'm pretty sure you're still with us for now. But of course, as we know, our tech genius is working on it constantly to try to get it all up and running. Hopefully we won't have too much interference. I was just going to say though, the wind appears to be dying down ever so slightly, which will be great. Hopefully it stops completely this morning. It's certainly not going to stop us, however. I'm just going to quietly creep up towards Mumba Dam here. There's an impala up ahead in the little clearing here. But yeah, I just want to creep up to Mumba Dam just in case. Oh, not so much creeping right now. Just in case that little leopard is here for her morning drink. I did find tracks of her here recently. It's of course been a while since we've seen her. I'm missing her big time. It appears those impala have bolted, which doesn't surprise me with the current weather. You look at the vegetation here that we're driving through that runs right up to the water's edge. You can understand why this cat loves this waterhole. It's so easy for her to just quickly sneak out of the dense woodland, have a drink, and then retreat back into the dense woodland, keeping herself hidden at all times. Leopards love to remain hidden, so it's a perfect situation for her here. There's an impala on the other side, and was on the other side, but that impala was very quiet. So there's a comb duck that just took off. It's flying here toward us. I think that's the first one I've seen in a good while. Used to be called the knob-billed duck, or it might have actually changed back again. They change these bird names so often. But I think currently it's still a comb duck. Thank you, Carol. Janine is first school. Hello, Janine. Yeah, Mary, Brandy, I'm going to stop talking about it, I promise. Not too much else stirring here around Mumba Dam. We're going to carry on, and as mentioned, everybody, I'm just going to quickly pop back to our camp. I just want to pick up that radio before I go any further out on the reserve. Shame that poor comb duck is circling us here. It wants to come back to the water. Another good reason to leave Mumba Dam. Let him come back and have his water hole in peace and all to himself. Apologies for the sniffles. Still a little bit chilly this morning. Ashley, are you able to just run in quick? Awesome, thank you. Hello, FC. Ashley is highly mobile. Thank you, my dear. Warning stations. Good. Well, got the radio and now it doesn't work. Anyway, at least I can show this to somebody, and if they try to get upset with me, I'll just say, well, it's here. Leave me alone. Okay. Hello, Critter Cam. Critter, well, what do we call that little Critter Cam? Just Critter Cam, that one. Okay. Warning stations, Gareth mobile from Hayes.
No specific updates. I think there's one vehicle from Leopard of Blowbunk, and there was a lion roaring just east on Blowbunk of the concrete crossing.
Concrete crossing? Confirm on Blowbunk or Leadwood with the concrete crossing?
Leadwood.
Copy that, thanks very much. Male lion roaring on Leadwood. I wonder which male that is. Probably the injured one. I think he's, and not the one that we saw before, by the way, everybody. So one of the males, the ginger man male, was reported to us that he had an injury and he was limping, and we found him on the fence line with his brother. And yes, he did have 2 puncture wounds on his back right leg. But I mean, I've seen him since and he's walking on it just fine, and those wounds are starting to heal. But Ashley and I then bumped into all 3 of the males who were together the other day. They were busy trailing the pride. And the dark-maned male, I think the one they call, I think they call him Mohawk or whatever. But anyway, the dark-maned male, he's got a pretty bad injury. His back left hip. There's something wrong there. He's definitely emaciated. He's lost a lot of weight on his back left hip, and he was really struggling quite a bit to move. I mean, he was keeping up with his brothers, but it kind of all makes sense now. You know, it's been 3 weeks where these males have been separated, and I thought it was because there was a lot of internal conflict going on within the coalition, and there may have been that. But it's probably also due to the fact that this male lion's got quite a bad injury on that hip now. I've only recently seen that, so it is something I want to bring up with Kevin and just find out what his thoughts are. And ultimately we might need to get Dr. Pete Rogers to come and have a look. How much? Jeez, that's a very nice long update. Morning, no major updates, just audio of a male lion east of concrete crossing on Leopard. Very lovely story. It is concerning, this injury on this male lion, and it's something we will monitor. But it's quite bad, and it's quite interesting because it truly is only on the left side of his hips. And I believe it was him that killed the wildebeest about 4 or 5 days ago on his own while he was separated from his brothers. Look, he may have stolen it from the pride, but I think he might have also killed it himself. So he had a big feed. He ate a sub-adult wildebeest all to himself. Janine, no idea. But most likely from fighting is where that injury came from. It's not impossible, of course, that he may have picked up that injury from hunting and bringing down prey. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, it could also be disease, but more likely an injury from fighting would be my guess. I think it might be him that was roaring on Leadwood. Now the pride was seen yesterday afternoon, quite close to the corridor on the most eastern side of Blowbank. They were feeding on something. I believe 2 of the males were there with them as well. I'm not too sure. A good chance they might have actually gone onto Kai and Lowveld, being that close to the corridor. But we might sort of push that direction just to see if the pride didn't maybe come this way rather than going further east onto Kaya. But I'm going to start by searching just a little bit between these 2 or a couple of water sources here, looking for this female leopard, and then we'll push on further east from there. elephant bull and try figure out where he is this morning as well. It'd be quite nice to see the elephants this morning. I haven't seen them in a little while. The birds are certainly starting to stir. Southern black tit calling here.
Elephant bull on his way down to Mumba Dam based on the plotting and last video.
So funny, I'm busy looking at the telemetry of the elephant bull, and as I've plotted where he is on the reserve, Kevin's just announced the exact same position. So actually we weren't too far from that elephant. Sounds like he might be, well, I know where he is right now. He's just east of Mumba Dam, so he might be making his way to Mumba Dam. So we might loop back there, everybody, but I first want to search around and see if there's any sign of the cats before we go back that way. Oh yes, yeah, Carol. Very sad that two of those cubs were killed by that male lion. African goshawk. Yeah, it's horrible. But it's something, you know, we are always prepared for with the cheetah. It happens, you know, so often with these little cheetah cubs with other big predators. You know, the mortality rate of cheetah cubs is probably around 70 to 80%, due to them being one of the lowest ranked predators. But also just because you know, their little cubs are so vulnerable and almost defenseless against the bigger cats. So yeah, it's something that happens, like I say. But it's tough. It's not wonderful that, of course, these two little cubs have perished. But the good, positive thing is that she does still have one of those cubs. And now that she's only got the one cub, it will make life a lot easier for her. So we just are all hoping that the last one will survive and she'll manage to raise it to adulthood. But as far as we know, it is also her first litter. And that could possibly have something to do with this particular incident. Very often, first-time moms get it wrong. They haven't quite worked out the best way to stash their cubs or hide their cubs. They haven't quite worked out how often to move around with them. And it was quite weird because she hung around in that area on Leadwood for, just over 3 weeks. And because she had spent that much time in that area for 3 weeks, I think, you know, there'd been a lot of scent left behind for her, and maybe that's why that male lion could find them easier than he normally would, was because of all that scent. But yeah, it is a great shame. Look at this beautiful sunrise. Just coming past this reservoir, which I'm sure most of you will recognize, where we had that amazing sunrise. So beautiful out here in the morning, so quiet, and just listening to the morning bird chorus. So calming. Janine, to answer your question, we don't know for certain. Kevin was the one that actually first found the mother on the move with just the one cub. She was walking along one of the fence lines, and he spent about half an hour with the mother and that single cub, and realized quickly that something was up. The other two cubs weren't there, and the mother wasn't calling for the other cubs. So he immediately knew that the probability was that the other two had been killed. He'd also just heard the lion roaring in that area on Leadwood where he'd found the mother and the cub. And so anyway, Kevin then worked his way back and managed to find one of the little cubs, and then found the tracks of the male lion in that area, pretty close to where the carcass was. The mother might have been with them. I'm pretty sure she would have been, because it was at first light. The mother and the cubs would have been sleeping, and then at first light might have started moving, and it was then that they bumped into that male lion. But of course, a female cheetah has got absolutely no defense against a fully grown male lion, so she just hopes that the cubs can get it. So she'll immediately take off, she'll bolt, and the cubs will scatter, and she just hopes that her cubs can either get away or find a bush to hide under, relying on that natural camouflage that they have. But obviously not. Two of them didn't get away, but thank goodness one of them did. Oh, that is a beautiful sunrise.
mobile car coming through the southern first gate, hopefully heading towards the southern side of the fire.
Sounds like Kevin is out again this morning. I think he's searching for that male lion that was roaring on Leadwood. Still searching for this leopard, everybody. The last time Ashley and I saw her together, she was hunting in this block here on our right hand side. Live drive, and he saw it here. He thinks it was the bull just here up ahead here, ran across the road here, and I've often found fresh signs in this area. So I'm always thinking about that one as well, of course. Like a bit of competition, friendly competition between colleagues. Sorry, Mary, I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to in terms of what species is that. Yeah, maybe you can just refresh my memory as to what I was talking about. And then, yes, Janine, I have seen female cheetah do that actually successfully with leopard as well. But yeah, with a male lion, I don't know, I think it's a very different scenario for them. But she may have tried that, you know, she may have tried to encourage the male lion to chase her, but was still unsuccessful. I can hear a vehicle up ahead here. So let's quickly go have a look at Kudu Krip, see if there's any signs of anybody coming to have a drink here, and then from here we're actually going to go a bit further south and get to that beautiful waterhole, leopard dam. Back. I believe we've got you back. I'm busy tracking a female leopard who crossed the road here. The tracks are pretty fresh, pretty good. And she turned here. She went in here along this game path. Now there's a drainage line, a little dry little creek that's just down here below us, and this creek runs straight to Leopard Dam, or Leopard Dam. Quite fitting, isn't it? The name of this dam, particularly this morning. Have you come walking with me through here? Just continue following her tracks through the block and see where she goes, but there's a very good chance she might have headed towards this waterhole, everybody, so that we're going to go with that, because of course we can't take you off the vehicle and walk through here. So let's head to the dam and see if we get lucky there. Yeah, my goodness, the gremlins are certainly having fun this morning.
last time he sounded like he was between the two roads, but I checked the roads on both sides and I not pick up any tracks.
No tracks of that leopard coming out this way, so I think she did stay in this little drainage line, everybody, in this little dry creek, and she's probably using it to move towards the dam, towards the waterhole. And just go very slowly along here. You never know, she might have come across towards this road here. Really would love to try and spend some more time with this leopard during the day. We know, of course, that she's quite comfortable with us at night, but she's still feeling a little bit anxious with us during the day, feeling a little bit more exposed. But if we could just find her and sit very quietly and just spend some time observing her, you know, without moving around too much, that's how we'll get her to become a little bit more comfortable during the day. Just checking very carefully for her tracks. Just some old honey badger tracks that I'd spotted. Tracks of a female leopard around Lemundur and Oos Pomp, south into the block. The little paw prints here on the road that caught my eye. Those are the civet's tracks. African civet. Not our leopard. Still be amazing though if we did get to see a civet, although quite unlikely at this time of the day. We're getting very close now to the waterhole. I just keep dreaming of seeing a leopard drinking at this dam. Such a beautiful spot, such a beautiful location with the mountains as a backdrop. And to then have this leopard drinking at the water's edge would just be mind-blowing. I only ever once seen a leopard at this dam. And that was the very elusive male leopard that resides in this part of the reserve. My dad and I just saw him briefly together on one of our afternoon drives. Black-collared barbet calling up ahead. Here. Tracks of her here again. The water's just ahead here. God, can you imagine she's here now drinking? No, she's come and gone by the looks of things. Just want to walk close to the edge here and just see if I can see her tracks. I did have tracks just behind us here coming straight to the water. Yeah, here her tracks are here. She drank right here. one day we're going to see a leopard drinking at this waterhole. I actually want to just drive up a little bit closer so that you can see these beautiful tracks in the mud where she had her drink, and then presumably walked up the drainage line that runs away from the dam here after her drink. There's that beautiful black-collared barbet calling again. Be able to see those awesome pug marks down there of where she had her drink. Look at that. So cool. And you can see just right of that track where her front right paw was in the mud as well. Yeah, there you go. There it is there. Just bent down and had a quick sip here before she carried on. So exciting. We're not too far behind her, everybody. Let's move around the dam and get to the other side now and just see if we can figure out where she's gone to from here. Yeah, but there's a heck of a noise coming from the exact direction she was headed. Sounds like a big, some big earth-moving machinery, one of the graders. Sounds like it's busy on the road there. Now that might disturb her and she might change her plans and her route with that grader that's active there. That'll be a really foreign sound to her and she won't feel comfortable around it. But let's go have a look, see if we can figure out where she's gone to. Still got the hyena tracks walking along the road here as well, very fresh too. Spotted hyena. More of her tracks, more of the leopard's tracks coming down here. You can see the tracks quite nicely there in the road. She carried on the road here, everybody. She left the road though. She came right along the edge here, most likely to scent mark up against these magic quarry trees. Leopards will often do that, spray their urine up into a quarry tree. And it's because of the shape of the leaf, I think. We'll have a closer look when we get close to the tree. You'll see these quarry bushes have a very hard leaf, very strong leaf that's very wavy. And I think they like them because the urine actually will sit for longer on these leaves because of their natural shape. But I'm glad she's going that way and not up towards where this grader is busy operating. Oh, brown-hooded kingfisher calling. Yeah, so this is the magic quarry here, this beautiful tree, which is actually fruiting at the moment. But if you look here, you can see what I'm referring to, this very hard leaf with these sort of waves in the leaf, which I think will actually sometimes trap a little bit of urine. You know, you consider a flat leaf is just obviously the urine is just going to slide right off it, whereas with a wavy leaf like this, some of the urine might get trapped in the little dips. I don't know, that's not a fact, that's just my theory. Because they do, when they spot these quarry trees, they very often mark them. But her tracks are just here, still going up along the road here. And that's still 100%, Stacey, it is very possible that these hyenas could be following the leopard. We know they often do that. Such opportunists. I'm still seeing the leopard's tracks, but I'm not seeing the hyena's tracks anymore. So maybe that theory isn't true this morning. Elephants have certainly been here, creating a little roadblock. You good? Just making sure I don't. leopard has left the road. She's no longer walking up this road. I'm hoping she'll come back though. The road does do a couple of S-bends here, and maybe she's just taking the fastest route, not following the road, and she might just go straight up through here. We might pick up her tracks again a little bit further up ahead. Some vultures up here. Probably just roosting here. I'm sure this is where they slept for the night. Just try and get a gap, a bit of a gap there. Huh? How's that, Ashley? These all look like white-backed vultures to me. Yeah. They're waiting for it to warm up and scavenging. Jeez, it must have been a tough night for them with this heavy wind that picked up. Imagine being sat up at the top of this exposed dead tree in that gale force wind. Ashley, I think you can relate to that, eh? Yeah. Ashley almost got blown away in her tent last night. She said she didn't get a wink of sleep. I think the vultures would probably be the exact same. Pretty tough on a windy night for them on these exposed trees. They'll just be fighting to actually stay up there more than anything else. Such a classic African image. The three henchmen sitting in the dead tree. I love it. It's such a cool picture. Alright, let's carry on searching for this leopard. Because of where we are with these tracks of this leopard and the direction she's heading, I'm almost certain it's that same female that we saw a lot of over the last 2 weeks. Tracks of, looks like the elephant bull walking along the road here. They're not fresh, however, they're from some time yesterday, because I can see a whole bunch of other animals have walked over this elephant's tracks. Thinking it would be somewhere around here. She might have come back to the road, our leopard. But alas, she has not. Not giving up yet, however. She was headed.
At the corner, I can't see what's right.
Just wanted to quickly kill the engine and see if we don't get lucky with any alarm calls or hearing this leopard vocalizing. Not so easy when the wind is as strong as it is. But if we're close enough, we will still hear it. Hello Susan, welcome to the morning painted dog safari. We're busy tracking a leopard, although we haven't had tracks now for a good couple hundred yards. Tracks are behind me, she was heading up this direction, but we've been tracking her for the last sort of 45 minutes and found a point where she drank at one of the prominent water holes behind us. Really beautiful to see her big pug marks in the mud on the edge of the water. And after her drink there, she then started heading up this way. But yeah, so far, haven't found the tracks again. We're going to take this little road and see if she didn't cross this little road. This little road is called Dacre. And maybe she's come up to Dacre Road to look for a Dacre. You never know. This is definitely her home turf though. Pretty much right in the middle of her territory now. Reversing because I've just seen a skull in a tree. It's very odd. The heck is that doing there? That is quite bizarre. Almost like maybe a human being placed it in this tree. Very odd. It's amazing. Look at that. Now what is interesting, so this is a blue wildebeest. What is interesting is I actually had to unhook this horn from one of the main stems of this raisin bush, white raisin. It surely couldn't have got itself trapped in a raisin bush and that's where it died. Also, there are no other bones that I can see around here. That is very weird as to how that ended up in this raisin. I don't know, I can only imagine that it was probably placed. Maybe somebody placed it there. Such a cool skull. Still a young wildebeest by the looks of things, youngish wildebeest. How bizarre. I keep looking up in the tree because, you know, it's not impossible, I suppose, that a leopard might have been feeding on a wildebeest up in the tree, or a portion of the wildebeest up in the tree, and then, yeah, the skull dropped from the tree above into the smaller raisin below. Not impossible, but tree to see if there wasn't any other remnants of a carcass. Certainly didn't see anything. Come on, little leopard. Such an amazing view from here, right across the whole of the Rietspruit. Everything you can see, everybody, is the Rietspruit Game Reserve. Mary's got that skull on a painted dog TV shirt. That's very cool. Yeah, it is an awesome skull. Hey, love the shape of the wildebeest's head. The poor animal with such a bad rep. I love them. if we don't find any further signs of this leopard along this road, then the likelihood is she's gone further south. And if that is the case, then we'll probably have to give up on her for the morning. But what I'd like to do with the last bit of time we have together is just go back towards Mumba Dam and see if that elephant bull hasn't come out there for a drink. It'd be so wonderful to spend some time with him, and of course we know that he's often with the herd, so I'm pretty sure the herd must be close by too. Having a good chuckle at Kevin reprimanding someone again on the radio. Oh dear. It's good though. It means that people watch what they say on the radio and stick to protocol. You know, someone's asked about the GNU's bad rep. Just people often, you know, sort of look down on them because of their sort of funny shape to their body and their funny eyes and their long face, and people say they're ugly or odd looking. But no, I think they're fantastic animals. I find them quite amusing and very beautiful in their own way. They've got the most beautiful coats. And of course, when you then go and see them up in East Africa during the migration, that's a spectacle to see so many of them together. Can't wait to go on another migration safari. Sadly, I think we've lost the tracks of that female leopard, everybody. She's done what leopards do best and disappeared. Really cool though that, you know, we managed to track her for that long, walking along the road that much. It's very promising. It means there's obviously a chance that either we're going to track her down during the day, but also just bump into her. If she's walking along the roads that often or that much, You know, on these early morning drives, especially for the first part of the morning, there's a good chance you're going to bump into her walking along one of these roads. In fact, she'd probably still be walking right now. It's still quite chilly. The sun's up, but the temperature's still low, so there's a good chance she's still hunting and patrolling her territory. It's funny when he's not yelling at you, Mary says. Even if he does yell at me, I find it funny. It obviously doesn't happen very often that he needs to yell at me. But yeah, I'll just take it with a pinch of salt. I know Kevin's intentions are just to keep everything in line and in check and make sure that everything runs smoothly, and I respect that completely. But I also do have 13 years of experience of working on some of the top private reserves all across South Africa with very strict protocols and procedure, so I do like to think I know what I'm doing. Very close to Mumba Dam. I wonder if these elephants are maybe there having a drink. I mentioned earlier that they were just east of the dam, but not far, literally maybe 400 yards from the waterhole. And we'll soon find out whether or not they are at the water having a drink, or maybe might have already pushed on. But let's see if we can track them down with the remainder of our morning safari, everybody. It's looking a little bit dark and gloomy over the Drakensberg Mountains all of a sudden. Might be some precipitation up there. I hope it doesn't come this way. I really don't feel like getting wet this morning. Oh, it is so beautiful though when that cloud drapes over the mountain. Such a dramatic feel and scene now with that dark cloud over the mountains ahead. I'm sure the temperature's actually dropped a couple of degrees as well since that front has come over the mountain. fly away, please stay there. Look at this. A brown hooded kingfisher. How beautiful is that, everybody? He is so cute. Well, he was so cute. He took off. Good catch there, Ashley. You did manage to see him briefly. Such a beautiful bird. Right. Sure. Thought I got a good strong whiff of popcorn there. But I was just going to say, we're approaching the waterhole now. See if any of the elephants are here. Ah, it's a beautiful grey heron on the other side of the waterhole. No elephants yet, however, so they're probably still feeding east of the dam. Such a cool bird. I love how they fish the shallows. And love their coloration, their markings. Particularly the little black streamers that they have on the top of their heads. He's come for breakfast. Right, now I don't want to spend too much time here, everybody, because I still do think we can get those elephants before we wrap up for the morning. So I'm going to head off and quickly go back on ourselves here, just a bit further away from the waterhole, and see if we can find those elephants. I think they were quite close to the fence line. And you never know, we might also get the male cheetah on the fence line now. Now, when I know that this elephant is close to the fence, I always wonder as well, are they not maybe interacting with the other elephants on the other side, on the other reserve, on the Blue Canyon Conservancy? I've seen some incredible interactions between these two different herds, you know, over the fence. It's amazing how they smell each other and they talk to each other. It's amazing to see that behavior. So you never know. And they might be close to the fence because they've picked up on this other herd. that brown hyena. I've just seen some spotted hyena tracks on the road here going this direction. But I would just be too chuffed if we got to see the brown hyena. Hello Becky, welcome. Welcome to our chilly but beautiful morning safari. We're busy trying to find some elephants that we believe are close by. Have been tracking a leopard the whole morning, unsuccessfully, unfortunately, but always a lot of fun and exciting when you've got fresh tracks. My favourite, of course, tracking leopards. Now, for those of you that are with us this morning, speaking of leopards, please remember to join me tomorrow on the That's Wild show, which I'll be hosting, which is an episode dedicated to leopard. Very excited about tomorrow night's show at 7 p.m. our time. Just have a look on the app or any of the social media and you'll be seeing all of the links to the That's Wild show. Now I believe that the elephants might be somewhere up ahead on our left hand side here. Well, we know the bull is in this area. We're not certain that the herd is here, but the bull is somewhere in here. Probably just feeding and also taking cover in the block away from the wind. Still a very strong gust at the moment. Oh, that's brilliant, Becky. We'll see you tomorrow night then. Right, now where are you, Mr. Elephant? Road up ahead, but I dung certainly isn't fresh. Okay. Well, have eluded us this morning, everybody. But it's still been an absolutely gorgeous morning, and it's always a pleasure to share it with you all. Thank you, Ashley, for being such a legend behind the scenes back there. And thank you to all of you for joining us. We're going to be signing off. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.